Life will put you through the fire, and when it does, you have two choices. Let it consume you or let it refine you. See, when gold is pulled from the earth, it's not shining, it's not pure, and it's not valuable in its raw form. It has to go through the fire. The heat burns away the impurities. The pressure molds it into something stronger, something more precious. And just like that gold, you are being refined. The fire isn't there to destroy you. It's there to shape you into what you were always meant to be. Hard times aren't punishments. They aren't proof that God has forgotten about you or that life is unfair. No, they are the test, the proving ground. The fire is where warriors are made. The struggle is where character is built. If everything in life was easy, there would be no strength in you. If there was no resistance, there would be no growth. Think about it. Have you ever seen someone who was handed everything in life, someone who never had to fight for anything? They have no resilience. The first sign of trouble, and they crumble. But not you. Not the one who has been through the fire. Not the one who has had doors slammed in their face, who has cried themselves to sleep, who has been doubted, rejected, and knocked down more times than they can count. Every trial you face is making you stronger. Every setback is adding something to you. You might not see it right now, but trust me, one day you will look back and realize that the fire was never there to break you. It was there to show you who you really are. Because here's the truth. People pray for strength, but they don't want to go through what it takes to become strong. You don't get muscles without lifting heavy weight. You don't get endurance without pushing past exhaustion. And you don't get faith without walking through seasons where all you have is trust. The fire is uncomfortable. It hurts. It will make you question everything, but it will also reveal everything. It will strip away what's not meant for you. It will separate the fake from the real, the weak from the strong. It will show you who's really in your corner. And most importantly, it will show you what you're made of. See, you can't fake endurance. You can't pretend to be strong when life is throwing everything at you. You either have it or you don't. And the only way to get it is to go through it. That's why you're in the fire. That's why it feels like life keeps testing you. Because there's something in you that needs to come out. There's a version of you on the other side of this struggle that is wiser, stronger, and unstoppable. But to get there, you have to be willing to walk through the heat. Think about the greatest people in history, the ones who changed the world. None of them had it easy. Every single one of them had to fight, to struggle, to push through rejection, failure, and pain. But that's exactly why they became great. They didn't let the fire consume them. They let it transform them. And that's the choice you have to make. Are you going to let this season of struggle break you, or are you going to let it build you? Are you going to sit down and give up, or are you going to stand up and say, this is making me stronger? Because let me tell you something, the fire doesn't last forever. The struggle is temporary. But what you gain from it, what you become because of it, that stays with you for life. One day you will walk out of this fire and you won't be the same person who walked in. You will be stronger. You will be wiser. You will be ready for everything that was meant for you. So don't run from the fire. Don't pray for it to stop. Pray for the strength to endure it. Because on the other side of it, you're going to see why you had to go through it. You're going to understand that it wasn't meant to break you. It was meant to make you. Pain is not random. It is not meaningless. It is not just something that happens to make life harder. Pain has a purpose. Every tear you've cried, every moment you felt lost, every time you've been knocked down, it's all leading somewhere. You may not see it right now, but one day you will look back and realize that what you thought was breaking you was actually building you. See, when you ask for growth, You don't just wake up stronger. You go through challenges that force you to grow. When you pray for wisdom, life doesn't just hand it to you. It puts you in situations where you have to make tough decisions, where you have to learn through experience. When you ask for courage, you don't just feel fearless one day. You get put in situations where fear tries to paralyze you, and you have to choose to push forward anyway. That's why pain is necessary. It's not comfortable. It's not easy, but it is necessary. Because without it, there is no transformation. Without it, there is no strength. Without it, you remain exactly where you are, and that's not where you're meant to be. Think about the hardest moments of your life, the times when you didn't know if you would make it through, the moments that made you question everything. Those were the times that changed you the most, weren't they? Not the easy days, not the moments when everything was going right, but the storms, the struggles, the pain. That's when you grew. That's when you became stronger. That's when you found out what you were really made of. Pain isn't there to destroy you, it's there to reveal you, to show you what's inside of you, to strip away everything that isn't real and leave behind only what is strong, only what is true, only what is meant to last. When you go through pain, you have a choice. You can let it make you bitter, or you can let it make you better. You can sit in it and feel sorry for yourself, or you can use it as fuel to rise. You can let it define you in a negative way, or you can let it refine you into something greater. The most powerful people you've ever heard of, the ones who inspire millions, who change lives, who leave a mark on this world, every single one of them went through pain. Not just a little, a lot. They were tested, they were pushed, they were broken down so they could be built back up even stronger. They didn't get there because life was easy. They got there because they refused to let pain defeat them. And you have that same choice. Right now, you may be going through something that feels unbearable. You may be asking, why? Why is this happening? Why is life so hard? Why does it feel like every time you take one step forward, something pushes you 2 steps back? But what if instead of asking why, you started asking, what is this teaching me? What is this preparing me for? What strength is this building inside me? Because there is something on the other side of this. There is a version of you that is wiser, stronger, more resilient. There is a version of you that has survived the storm and is standing in the light. But to get there, you have to go through this. You have to endure. You have to trust that this pain has a purpose. You may not see it now, but one day you will. One day you will realize that the very thing you thought was breaking you was actually making you into exactly who you were meant to be. So don't give up. Don't run from the pain. Walk through it, face it, let it shape you, because it is not here to destroy you. It is here to prepare you for something greater. Strength is not built in comfort. It is built in struggle. It is built when everything in you wants to quit, but you keep going anyway. It is built in the moments when you are tired, when you are broken, when you feel like you have nothing left to give, but somehow you dig deep and find just enough to take one more step. That's how strength is made. That's how warriors are forged. Not in easy times, not in moments of peace, but in the middle of the storm, when the winds are howling and the weight of life is pressing down on you. You see, life is not going to hand you strength. It's not going to just show up one day, fully formed, without a price. No, strength is something you earn through experience. It is something you gain by walking through fire and refusing to be burned. It comes from enduring hardship, from facing obstacles, from standing in the middle of chaos and refusing to break. Think about the strongest people you know, the ones who seem unshakable, the ones who don't fold under pressure. Do you think they were just born that way? Do you think they never had to go through anything? No. They are that strong because they have been through the storm. They have walked through pain, through failure, through rejection. They have faced battles that would have broken most people. But instead of giving up, they kept fighting. That's the difference between the strong and the weak. It's not that the strong don't struggle, it's that they don't quit. It's not that life is easier for them, it's that they refuse to let the hard times defeat them. They understand that the struggle is necessary, that without it they would never become who they were meant to be. You can't build endurance if you never get tired. You can't build resilience if you never fall. You can't become strong if you never have to lift anything heavy. And that's why life keeps testing you. That's why the storm keeps coming, not to break you, but to build you. Not to destroy you, but to shape you into something greater. The truth is, most people don't want to go through the process. They want strength, but they don't want the struggle. They want success, but they don't want the sacrifice. They want the reward, but they don't want to pay the price. But you can't skip the process. You can't avoid the storm and still expect to come out strong. That's not how it works. If you want to be unshakable, you have to be tested. If you want to be powerful, you have to be pushed. If you want to be great, you have to go through moments that make you question everything. That's the only way. And when you're in the middle of it, when the weight feels unbearable, when it feels like life is testing you beyond your limit, remember this: you are not being punished, you are being prepared. You are not being broken, you are being built. And every challenge, every hardship, every struggle is making you stronger than you were before. One day you will look back at everything you went through and you will realize that the storm didn't defeat you. You will realize that the struggle wasn't in vain, that every tear, every sleepless night, every moment of doubt was all part of the process. It was all shaping you into the person you were destined to be. So don't run from the storm. Don't pray for the struggle to end too soon. Embrace it, walk through it, let it teach you, let it change you, let it mold you into something unstoppable. Because on the other side of it, you will not be the same. You will be stronger, you will be wiser, you will be ready for everything life has in store for you. If your life is hard right now, if it feels like every time you try to move forward, something is pulling you back, if it seems like the weight of the world is pressing down on you, let me tell you something, there is a reason. The enemy does not attack what is not a threat. The devil does not waste his time on people who have no purpose. If you are going through hell, it's because something inside you is dangerous. It's because you are meant for something greater. It's because you have a calling on your life, and the closer you get to it, the harder the attacks will come. You ever wonder why some people seem to have it easy? Why they don't face the same struggles, the same resistance? It's because they aren't a threat. They aren't walking toward anything powerful. They aren't stepping into their purpose. But you are different. You have a fire inside you. You have something in you that the enemy is afraid of. That's why you're being tested. That's why you feel like you're in a constant battle. Because if you ever realize who you truly are, if you ever step fully into your power, if you ever break free from the chains that are trying to hold you back, you will be unstoppable. The attacks on your life are proof of your potential. The pain you're going through is not random. The delays, the disappointments, the betrayals, they are not accidents. They are designed to shake you, to make you doubt yourself, to make you give up before you reach your destiny. The enemy doesn't want you to succeed. He wants you to break. He wants you to believe that you are not enough, that the struggle is too much, that you should just settle for less, that you should just give up. But you can't. You won't. Because you were built for this. You were chosen for this. And deep down, you know it. That's why no matter how hard it gets, you keep going. That's why even when the weight feels unbearable, you refuse to stop. That's why even when everything in you wants to quit, something inside you whispers, keep pushing. That's the warrior in you. That's the purpose inside you fighting to break free. Every great person who has ever walked this earth has had to fight through struggle. They have had to push through pain, through loss, through failure. They have had to face opposition that seemed impossible to overcome. But they made it. Not because they were lucky, not because life was easy for them, but because they refused to let the attacks stop them. They understood that the resistance was a sign that they were on the right path. That the struggle wasn't a reason to quit, it was proof that they were stepping into something great. And the same is true for you. The battle you are in right now is not meant to break you. It is meant to build you. The pressure you feel is not there to destroy you. It is there to reveal you. The struggle is not there to stop you. It is there to strengthen you. The devil would not be fighting you this hard if you weren't carrying something powerful inside of you. So, don't let the attack make you weak. Let it remind you who you are. Let it remind you of what's inside you. Let it remind you that you are on the verge of something incredible. That everything you've been through is leading you to something greater. That one day you will look back at this moment, at this pain, at this struggle, and you will realize it was never meant to destroy you. It was meant to make you unstoppable. You were not put on this earth to live a small life. You were not created to blend in, to stay comfortable, to settle for less than what you are capable of. No, you were made for more. And the proof is in the battle you are fighting. The proof is in the resistance you are facing. The proof is in the fact that the enemy is terrified of what you are becoming. So stand tall, keep pushing, keep fighting. Because on the other side of this struggle is the version of you that is unshakable, unbreakable, and ready to walk fully in your purpose. And when you get there, you'll understand that every tear, every sleepless night, every moment of doubt was worth it. Because it wasn't just a fight, it was preparation for everything you were meant to be. Just because it hasn't happened yet doesn't mean it won't. Just because you don't see the results right now doesn't mean they aren't coming. Just because you prayed, worked, sacrificed, and pushed yourself to the limit without seeing a breakthrough doesn't mean it's not on the way. Delay is not denial. What's meant for you is still coming, but it's coming in its own time, not yours. We live in a world that expects instant results. We want success overnight. We want to see the reward right after the effort. But life doesn't work like that. Growth doesn't work like that. You don't plant a seed today and expect a tree tomorrow. There is a process. There is a season for everything. And sometimes the waiting season is just as important as the winning season. You may feel like you're stuck, like you've been working so hard, trying so much, giving everything you have, and yet the doors still aren't opening. But what if they're not opening because you're not ready yet? What if you're still being prepared for what's on the other side? See, God won't give you something you're not ready for. He won't put you in a position that you're not strong enough to handle. You might think you're ready, but He sees what you can't see. He knows what's ahead. And if He's making you wait, there's a reason. Waiting is not wasted time. While you're waiting, you're growing, you're learning, you're building endurance, you're becoming the person who can handle the blessing when it finally arrives. Because the truth is, if you receive something too soon, you won't appreciate it and you won't be able to sustain it. That's why people who get success overnight often lose it just as fast. They didn't go through the process. They didn't build the foundation. But you're going through it. You're earning it. And when your time comes, no one will be able to take it from you. You have to stop thinking that just because it's taking time, it's not going to happen. Some of the greatest things in life take the longest to manifest. The people who make the biggest impact are the ones who endured the longest struggle. The dream you have, the vision that's been placed inside you, it's not there by accident. It's not some random thought. It was planted in you for a reason. But just like a seed, it has to go through seasons before it bears fruit. Think about a bamboo tree. When you plant a bamboo seed, nothing happens for years. You water it, you nurture it, you do everything right, but you see no growth. And most people would give up thinking the seed was dead. But what they don't realize is that beneath the surface, the roots are growing deep. The foundation is being set. And then when the time is right, the bamboo tree shoots up almost overnight, growing several feet in just weeks. That's how life works. You might not see the progress, but it's happening beneath the surface. You can't rush the process. You can't force the timing. All you can do is keep showing up, keep putting in the work, keep believing that your time is coming, and when it does, it will happen so fast, it will make sense why it took so long. So, don't lose faith. Don't let frustration make you quit. Don't compare your journey to someone else's, because what's meant for you will come when you're ready for it. If you give up now, you'll never know how close you were. If you stop believing now, you'll never see what was waiting for you just on the other side of the struggle. Stay the course, keep going, keep trusting, because what's ahead of you is greater than anything behind you. And when your breakthrough comes, you'll look back and understand that every delay was just part of the preparation. The wait wasn't a punishment, it was a setup for something bigger than you ever imagined. When you come out of the storm, you won't be the same person who walked into it. That's the whole point. You're not supposed to be the same. The pain, the struggle, the battles you've had to fight, they weren't just obstacles, they were the fire that refined you, the pressure that shaped you, the weight that made you stronger. Every time you thought you wouldn't make it, every time life knocked you down, every time you had to pull yourself up from rock bottom, you weren't just surviving, you were growing, you were transforming, and now on the other side of it, you are not the same person. You see things differently, you move differently, you think differently, because you had to. The old version of you couldn't handle what you're stepping into. The old version of you wasn't built for the next level. That's why life had to break you down to build you back up into something greater. People won't understand it. They'll look at you and wonder why you've changed, why you don't tolerate what you used to, why you're more focused, more disciplined, more driven. They don't realize that the fire you walked through burned away the parts of you that were holding you back. It stripped you of doubt, of weakness, of fear. It forced you to grow into someone who can't be broken, someone who won't settle, someone who refuses to be anything less than what they were meant to be. And because of that, some people will fall away. That's part of the process. Not everyone is meant to go with you to the next level. Some people were only there for a season. Some relationships were only meant to teach you something, to prepare you for what's coming. And when that season is over, you have to let them go. You can't hold on to the past while reaching for your future. You can't stay in the same place just because it's comfortable. You've outgrown it. The struggle made sure of that. There's a reason why diamonds are formed under pressure, why gold is refined in fire, why steel is hardened in heat. Because without resistance, without struggle, without adversity, strength cannot be built. And that's exactly what happened to you. Life didn't destroy you, it transformed you. The storm didn't end you, it elevated you. And now you're ready for what's next. But here's the thing, this isn't the end of your growth. There will be more challenges, more obstacles, more tests, because every level of your life will require a new version of you. Every new blessing will come with new battles. That's how it works. Growth never stops. The minute you stop pushing yourself, the minute you stop embracing the struggle, you stop evolving. And you were not made to stay the same. So don't resist the process. Don't fear the next challenge. You've already proven that you can survive the storm. You've already shown that no matter how hard it gets, you won't break. Now it's time to use what you've learned, to step into your power, to move with confidence, knowing that everything you've been through was preparing you for this moment, because now you are unshakable. Now you are the version of yourself that is ready to walk into your purpose, to claim what's yours, to rise above everything that once tried to hold you back. And when people ask you how you did it, when they wonder how you overcame what was meant to destroy you, just smile, because they won't understand. They didn't walk through the fire with you. They didn't feel the weight you carried. They didn't cry the tears you cried, but you did, and you made it. And that's why nothing will ever be the same again, because you're not the same. You are stronger, you are wiser, you are ready, and now there is nothing in this world that can stop you.